It's time to have some real, uncomfortable, but healthy conversations about Ilia Topuria. I want to start this video off by saying, Islam Makhachev, Khabib, you're wrong. You're wrong. And when Ilia was trying to move up and he was pushing for the Islam fight, while Islam was undisputed champion at 55, Islam made it seem like he's just another 45er. He's a little guy. Why give little guy chance? Why give little guy chance? He's just a little guy. If I beat little guy, it's nothing for my legacy. Wrong. All that shit out of the window. All that shit disproved. 100%. This is just not another 55. This is not another guy. Okay? We've never seen Charles Oliveira go out that way. He was out before he hit the fucking canvas. Okay? His head hit his fucking, he was out. It was brutal. Fucking brutal. So I really want to start this video off by saying, no, you're wrong. Now, can anybody at 155 beat Ilia Topuria? I think these are the two guys who you're going to end up seeing fighting. Whether Gaethje ends up fighting one of them in a title elimination, I don't think Gaethje's in the picture at all. And I don't think we need to see the Gaethje fight. I think we all know how that plays out. First round, brutal. The real fights at 55, his hardest fights at 55 is Paddy the Baddy and Arman Tsarukyan. And are they really that hard of fights? When I look at Paddy the Baddy, we're going to run through this real quick. When I look at Paddy the Baddy, yeah, he's physically imposing. He's huge. He has the plot armor. Strong. We can't forget this guy got picked up in the first round, dumped on his fucking back by Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler took his back, put in the hooks. He's fucking trash. He slid off the top. And the second round was a different story. Ilia Topuria is not going to be gassed after one round. And when we look at Paddy the Baddy, I hate to harp on the Jared Gordon fight, and I do believe he's a better striker than he was in that Jared Gordon fight, simply because he's more comfortable in there, he's more willing to go forward, and he keeps his distance with his kicks. Ilia Topuria showed in that Charles Oliveira fight, no kicks is going to keep him at range. Charles Oliveira was landing hard stomps, hard calf kicks, hard teeps. None of that shit kept distance. That shit's not going to fucking work. Okay, so I saw MMA Guru. It's interesting because he's gonna keep kicks. Ilia Topuria is closing that fucking distance. And as far as the striking, chin in the air, not defensively responsible. He's not fast. He's fucking slow as fuck, dude. That fight ends the same way. It might not end round one because Paddy the Baddy is tough, but that ends the same way that the Charles Oliveira fight ended. I'm so fucking sorry. And when we look at the Arman Tsarukyan fight, we look at Arman, hard kicks, tough guy. He's fast for his own right. His boxing can't compare. He's very, very kick heavy. Very, very kick heavy. I just said no kicks is going to keep Ilia Topuria at range. But he does kick like a mule. He is super athletic. Some of those kicks can come high. So he can maybe catch Topuria. That's what we got to talk about. Can you maybe catch him with a high kick with these guys? With these 45ers, these 55ers. And as far as the wrestling, I'm sorry. I saw Charles Oliveira have double underhooks on Ilia Topuria. Go for a throw. Ilia Topuria land on top. Not only land on top, go to side control and crucify Charles Oliveira. Crucify Charles Oliveira. A fresh Charles Oliveira. A Charles Oliveira who was not hurt. A Charles Oliveira that was not rocked and went to his back to try to recover. Crucified him. And Ilia Topuria is a fighter you got to finish. You got to finish Ilia Topuria. You cannot hope to just outpoint him and win a decision 25 minutes. Ilia Topuria forces guys to fight his fight. 25 minutes, outpoint, tit for tat. That shit's just not going to fucking work. Arman Tsarukyan is a decorated finisher. Charles Oliveira was the greatest finisher in the UFC's history. Arman Tsarukyan has a 90-something% finish rate. Charles Oliveira is the greatest finisher ever. Is he defensively sound? No. Did he crash into the pocket with a right hand that he didn't even need to be this close for? Yes. Will Arman Tsarukyan do that? Probably not. Boxing exchanges, Ilia Topuria is going to knock you the fuck out at 55. I think the only way we see Ilia have a chance if he goes up to 170. And at 170, let's talk about the Islam Makhachev fight. I think at 155, we know how that plays out. You see what Volk was able to do with Islam Makhachev. Put Islam Makhachev back against the fence. Islam Makhachev is pretty comfortable because he's so good. He's such a good striker. He's so good defensively. He's so good at countering. His straight shots are unbelievable. He's super hard to hit. He's okay with being on the back foot and dancing and popping and dancing and popping. I'm sorry, being on the back foot, dancing and popping against Ilia Topuria, no. We saw. And I ain't gonna lie, both these fights, Islam won clearly, but it was competitive. He won clearly. 4-1. Clear. But it was competitive. We cannot deny Volkanovski does not have a finishing ability. He's not a finishing threat. It's not a lot of danger in a Volkanovski fight. Dustin Poirier, on the other hand, there is danger in the Dustin Poirier fight. He does have power. He don't got Ilia Topuria power. He does have good timing. He don't have Ilia Topuria timing. He don't have Ilia Topuria timing. The shots that Poirier was catching Oliveira with, it was not with the same timing. He doesn't have the Ilia Topuria speed. He doesn't have the Ilia Topuria wrestling. And this is my favorite fighter of all time. I'm telling you this. So I think this fight's only competitive at 170. Well, if you read these quotes, all my life I cut weight. But now I want to be big. My weight is in the same position. I try to lift more, and slowly, I've gained maybe 4 pounds. It's very hard. It's looking like when Islam finally fights at 170, it doesn't look like he's going to be bulked up. It doesn't look like he's going to have much more muscle mass. It looks like he's just going to be cutting less weight. I can say the same thing for Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria had a little bit more muscle on, but he just looked more full. He looked like he just didn't cut as much weight. I'm not sure how much of a different Islam Makhachev at 170 will be than Islam Makhachev at 155. I think that Islam might be more durable. Other than that, that's it. I don't know if he's going to be stronger. Yeah, probably stronger because you are cutting less weight, right? It's a 15-pound jump. That's a big fucking jump. But he's not putting on the weight correctly. He's going to have a higher body fat percentage. His lean muscle mass, it just looks like he's going to be fuller. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think ultimately the success you see that these strikers had at 55, if Ilia Topuria was to move up to 170 and fight Islam Makhachev at 170, I think it would end the same way. I think Ilia would force Islam to fight his fight. I think Ilia would be in the center of the octagon where Islam isn't that great at takedowns, where Islam needs to get you against the fence and work that clinch. I saw Charles Oliveira with double underhooks and this shit didn't work. Now, Islam maybe has better takedowns. Islam has better control. But it's the same. Lower center of gravity. His hips were beautiful. Reversing double. You guys. Oh my gosh. This guy's a problem. This guy's a problem. And Ilia Topuria only needs one exchange. With you on the back foot against the fence. Trying to move laterally. Trying to get out of the way. Islam strikes on the back foot. He's not a guy that's going to walk you down. Pressure you and just get in your face that way. That's a nightmare for Ilia Topuria. Not for Ilia Topuria. That's a nightmare for Islam. So I don't think this is Ilia's hardest fight at 170. I know we're speaking ahead of time, and he has to defend at 55. He needs to get at least a Paddy and an Armand fight, and he needs to defend twice. If he beats those two, there's really nothing left for him. You can't give him a Gamrot. You can, but who wants to see it? I don't want to see a Huffy rushed. So he already flatlined Max. Man, I'm telling you, this guy, it would be a disgrace if he was to beat Paddy and probably finish him, and beat Armand and probably finish him if we don't see him at 170. Because that's the only way we're going to see him get a challenge. And another reason why I think Ilia versus Islam plays out the same way at 170 that it would at 155 is because we all understand how crazy of a matchup this is. Jack is, if not the best boxer in the UFC, he's second behind Ilia Topuria. And it depends on who you like. Ilia Topuria has the one-hitter quitter, shut your lights out. But Jack's able to be successful in more areas of his boxing. Jack can be high output and really land combinations and slip shots on the back foot and go forward. Ilia Topuria, if he's on the back foot, his offense just isn't great. Jack Della Maddalena is super defensively sound on the back foot, going forward, standing in the center against the fence. He can box very, very well in all areas, where Ilia's kind of got to be the one in control, kind of about to be one in the center. And he's great at doing it. So that's the equalizer. I'm not here to debate who's the better boxer because I think the fight will decide it. Now, I don't want to spoil who I think wins this fight, but you're kind of going to be able to tell who I think wins this fight as the video goes on. When I look at Ilia and I look at Islam at 170, I think it's inevitable that over the course of 25 minutes, the amount of chances Ilia's going to get, yes, Islam is defensively sound. He's risk at first. He tries to nullify risk. He tries to nullify chances. Sorry, on the back foot, when he's coming in with combination, body head. Then he's getting you against that fence. You can be outpointing him all you want. Over the course of 25 minutes, he's going to land a shot, and I think he puts Islam Makhachev out. And like I said, I think to beat Ilia, you have to finish him. So Islam will have to get a takedown. You have to submit him. So I don't think Islam is his toughest fight at 170. At 155, yes. At 170, no. At 170, I think Ilia's toughest fight is Sean Brady, Jack Della Maddalena. Now, Sean Brady, I'm going to be honest, Ilia Topuria sips tea. over Sean Brady. Sean Brady's big. He's shorter than Oliveira, but he's big and he's fucking dense. He's girthy, pause. Big cardio, in on the wrestling. Fast-paced striking, get in your face. The fact of the matter is, Sean Brady likes to fight in a car crash type of style and impose his will. Charles Oliveira tried to fight a car crash type of style, and he crashed and burned. Sean Brady comes in with the jab, double jab, right hand, and he's pushing you forward because you don't want to get taken down, and you're going to give him space. Ilia Topuria is going to plant his feet. He's going to send a fucking shot because he only needs to land one shot. He's going to send a fucking shot. And he's going to try to put you out. The thing about Ilia Topuria is when you have a big power puncher, and it's against a style like that, Kai Kara-France, right? I think his power is a little overrated. But let's look at Kai Kara-France versus Alexandre Pantoja. Alexandre Pantoja's coming in, boom, and Kai never stood his base. He just always backed up, gave respect. I love a one-shot power kind of guy who doesn't rely on the one shot. Ilia Topuria, it's always combinations. Bam, bam, bam. Even on this right here, short right hook, came back with the left hook that kind of missed. Charles was already out, and he threw another shot. I want to say another uppercut. It's always combinations. Wow, he has. That's what makes the one shot dangerous. Having one punch knockout power isn't always dangerous because if you're just throwing one big shot at a time, I can kind of see that. I can kind of work my way around that. But when it's combinations and every single fucking punch in the combination, and it's so tight, and it's so crisp, and it's such good timing. I think Ilia Topuria, he's sipping tea if he's fighting Sean Brady. And I was Jack Della Maddalena. This is going to be Ilia's hardest fight at 170. And I believe this, because, well, actually 170 versus Shavkat would be crazy because Shavkat's 6'3". But Shavkat's going to be so much slower. That is a crazy fight to think about. He's a fucking giant. He's a fucking Goliath. But I'm thinking of championship right now. And I think his hardest fight, at least initially, is Jack Della Maddalena. And this is why I am under the strong belief you have to finish Ilia Topuria to beat him. You have to finish him to beat him. And it's kind of crazy to think because you're kind of assuming Ilia Topuria's power is going to translate to 170 because that's a big fucking jump. That's 15 pounds. The guys up there are much durable and they hit much harder, so you have a higher chance of getting hit and getting finished. He took Oliveira's shots well. He did. He took Oliveira's shots well, especially in the clinch. He took his right hands well. He took the uppercuts well. 170 is a whole different fucking level. That's 15 pounds. That's a huge fucking jump. But a part of me thinks, man, he's going to be able to hurt these guys at 170. Like, do you not think he could catch Leon Edwards clean and fucking hurt him? Maybe those KOs, those flat lines and those out codes, maybe they turn into TKOs where he rocks you and then he's combination kind of get you out of there. But I think he can hurt these guys at 170. And when I look at JDM, I know JDM can hurt guys. I know JDM can hurt anyone. Yeah, he's been going to decisions as of late. He can hurt fucking guys, and he's good at going backwards. So if Ilia's trying to push that pace, if Ilia's trying to make him go backwards, Jack Della Maddalena, head movement, hard to find, bam, 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 head movement, bam, 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 you know? And I think these guys at 170 are going to be able to take Ilia Topuria's power a little better. Now, I think Ilia Topuria can still hurt these guys, but I don't think at 170, it's just, you never know, bro. What he just did to Charles was crazy. But it's just hard for me to think he's going up 15 pounds and he's still going to be one punch flatlining, KOing guys. I don't know if that's the case. Can he KO people? Yes. I think he's going to be more like TKOs, accumulation. Lands a good shot, then go clean them up. Combination. But Jax is so good in the flow. Hard to hit. Bam, 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 bam. Jack will make you pay if you drop your lead hand when you're throwing that left hook and you miss. Jack, bam, bam, bam. Jack's so good going backwards. And Jack's so good going forward. Where Ilia, he's not really getting his offense off when he's going backwards. So if Jack's going forward now, it's my turn to come forward, and Ilia's on the back foot, and Jack, bam, bam, to the body, bam, bam, bam. Oh my gosh, this would be the best boxing showcase that we've ever seen in the UFC. This would be one of the greatest fights of all time. It's not on paper, but I'm telling you, in the octagon, 5 rounds, 170 title, this would be one of the greatest fights we've ever seen in our lives. I'm not joking. The exchanges would be out of this fucking world. Everything that you think Poirier and Topuria would have been back in the day, a few fights ago, now everybody just thinks Topuria knocks out DP. Probably does. This is the real one right here. But there is a dilemma. Look at JDM's face. Bilal was able to do that. Bilal was able to do that. Bilal was landing. Go back and watch that. Bilal was landing in that fight. Doing a good job of pushing JDM against the fence and landing straight shots. He just doesn't have the power, and he's just not a better boxer. That's all it is. He's just not better. He's not a better boxer. Where JDM still, even though he's getting hit, He might get hit with the third punch, but the first two, he's slipping, he's kind of rolling. Not all of them are hitting clean, but he's hitting you clean. Bam, bam, bam. And it was a high-volume fight. JDM was throwing heat. I mean, a high-volume fight, high-volume striking, cracking Bilal. Bilal's a guy that's been relatively tough, hasn't been KO'd in 9 years. Relatively tough, but it is kind of worrisome that JDM was hitting Bilal ass clean on the button. You can't land a better shot than this. And Bilal was there the whole 25 minutes. That is a little bit of a problem. That's a dilemma. I'm not going to lie, but styles make fights. But that is a dilemma. Like, I mean, cracking the shit out of Bilal. Repeatedly. Beating the dog shit out of Bilal. And it went to the full 25. You got to finish Ilia, bro. You got to finish Ilia. You can't go a full 25. Taking turns. All right, my turn to get off. Bam, 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 bam. All right, Ilia, your turn to bam, 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 bam. Going to war. You go to war with Ilia, you're not winning the war. Unless you're finishing Ilia. You got to finish Ilia, bro. I think nobody at 55 beats Ilia. I think you go to 170. If it's against Islam, I think he beats Islam. I think this is his hardest and most fun fight. 5'11", 5'7". JDM's going to be fucking massive. JDM is fast. They're both entering their primes. I don't think we've seen the best that Ilia Topuria has to offer. They're both entering their primes. 73-inch reach versus 68-inch reach. JDM fighting out of both stances. Keep Topuria on his toes. Every time Topuria thinks he has a read, oops, switch stances. Keep him on his toes. Keep him guessing. What a fucking fight. This is the best fight you can make at 170. And I think JDM's going to have that belt by the time Topuria decides to go up. I think. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm going to spoil it. I think JDM beats Islam Makhachev. So, my question to you. Can Ilia Topuria become a triple champion? I think it's very possible. I think it's very, very possible. If Islam beats JDM, I don't think he does. But if Islam beats JDM and somehow we get that fight at 170, man, fucking fireworks. And I do think Ilia Topuria gets it done. And I do think Ilia Topuria accomplishes his goal and solidifies itself as the greatest of all time. I'm willing to say that. You get 2 more finishes at 155. And that's, what, 5 world title wins? You go up to 170. Beat the number 1 pound for pound. Another guy who's at that point, if Islam wins another belt, he's probably the GOAT. If not number 2, fuck that. Fuck John Jones. He's the GOAT. Go up there. You take his fucking head. Uncomfortable, but real conversations will be had. We're going to engage in dialogue. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody. Let me know. Let me know in the comments how you feeling about Ilia at 155. How you feeling about Ilia at 170. Oh, man. This is crazy. I know he's killing all of our favorite fighters, but I'm telling you right now, enjoy this run while it's happening. Because when it comes to an end, you're going to wish that you enjoyed it much more. I'm telling you. So that's some food for thought. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody. I know they enjoyed it just like you did. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here, man. Yeet.